What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Undefeated Minds, hosted by distinguished gentlemen. I'm your boy, Deshaun, and today I have a special guest, you know what I'm saying? My boy, my dog, my brother. I gotta give a quick intro real quick. This guy started off giving me value first. So in return, I had to do the same thing. He featured me on his podcast, and also he is a trainer as well. So value for value, I at least wanted to give him the correct introduction. You know what I'm saying? This guy's amazing. You see him on social media. If you don't follow him, all the links will be in the description below. But yeah, my boy, man, Charlie.
Appreciate that.
Glad to have you, bro.
Appreciate that. Love is love. Love is love.
For sure, bro.
Yeah.
How you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling progressive, man. Real progressive, man. Just sitting here, just really vibing and actually looking forward to 2024 too.
Okay.
But yeah, man, I really been in tune with myself, giving back. You know, whether it's knowledge, wisdom, or understanding. But yeah, man, just living godly, for real.
Living godly.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we about to go into 2024. This is the end cap of this. I kind of want to introduce how we ran into each other,
Facts.
and ever since then we just been growing with each other.
I locked down for sure.
Like I said, I met you first originally at Workout Anytime. You was training a client. I was up there training.
Yeah.
I was recording, and then as you know, you came up to me and was like, "Bro,
Yeah.
we should do something." If I got to ask you a question about that, what made you want to come up to me and say like, "Bro, what's up, bro?"
It's wild because when we was in the gym, I used to see you all the time. It's like, okay, he about his business. He's like, you get in there with a purpose, and then you just go out and do your thing.
Right.
Like, it ain't no, you see them other trainers, they be in there trying to be seen and all that. You like, nah, I'm gonna handle my business.
Correct.
I was like, okay, bet. He handled his business. He vibrant with it. He stayed cool, calm, and collected. I was like, okay, yeah, definitely got to rock with bro. See what he about. Then I don't know how I got your IG, the Instagram, but come to find out, I saw the Instagram. That was like more confirmation too. I was like, okay, boom, he got the content going on. He actually living what he say he doing, and it's like, yeah, I gotta see more about him. And then ever since then, we didn't plug in with the first episode. I was like, yeah, solid. And then, but the first thing, it was like, usually I'm always a visionary, putting people on game. And then the first thing you was saying is like, you put me on something I ain't even know. So I was like, yeah, I gotta be around, bro. I gotta be around her, you know what I mean? Because I'm like,
Right.
ain't no way. I just felt like I was the smartest one out of my group, and I did not want to be in that. So I was like, yeah, let me lock in with bro, and then we gonna see where it go from there and everything.
For sure. I can say the same, bro. Because when we first got in contact with each other, and I was seeing you train. You know how like everybody always in the gym indirectly watching
For sure.
who do what and who bullshit for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can see the same guy that be up in here for a whole year with no gains, doing the same thing,
Same thing.
talking to everybody, bullshit.
Always one of
But like you said, you can see the guys who in and get it, do they work, come in, get out. You know what I'm saying? I saw that you were training all of your clients, and I'm like, yeah, this guy know what he doing.
For sure.
He got high energy, he know what he talking about. So when you came up to me, it was like, okay, this makes sense. What made me kind of lean into you more was more so when I got on your page, I saw that you was already doing somewhat on your own podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Facts.
Now, mind you, I put out into the universe like, hey, look, I want to get around people who challenge me to grow. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
I want to be, okay, you got a skill set that I like. Tupac said this. You got a skill that I like. I'm going to call you great at it. I'm going to take that skill set, work on it, come back to you until I can't call you great no more at that same skill set.
Yeah.
It's more so friendly competition. So I saw that. I was like,
yeah.
yo, this guy, he owning something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to grow with him.
For sure.
On this. So then next it rolled over to us doing
The pod.
the pod. Like everything just rolled over correctly. Well, what I want to do though is still stay in that personal training area,
Yeah.
because I think there's a gray area that a lot of people don't like to talk about when it comes to training, bro.
Uh-oh.
So in training, most trainers look at each other like competition.
Mm.
Why do you think that is? Like, I got my clients, you got your clients. Now I'm against you because you a trainer too. Why do you think that is?
It's deeper than from the experience. It's deeper than just the industry. It really got something to do with personal, like the qualities within the person.
Mm-hmm.
Cause at the end of the day, for me, always identify myself. I already knew who I was and what value I hold.
Mm-hmm.
But other guys that's not knowledgeable about themselves,
Mm-hmm.
they watching another man pockets, or they watching another man move. So for me, I always knew who I was and what value I hold and what influence I have.
Right.
It was like I don't worry about the next man. You can get your clients. I can go somewhere else and get mine. You know what I mean? Like, I don't watch people pockets. Always stayed in my lane. But it's those guys that don't stay in their lane, and they really inspired by you, but they just too prideful to say it. You feel me?
Okay.
So it's like okay. So at the end of the day, I still show love, because at the end of the day, I know you inspired because you hating on me. You feel me? So
Right. So you kill them with kindness.
kill 'em with kindness.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What are some things, because this is called Undefeated Minds. And on Undefeated Minds, the theme is chess. So I always tell people, think before you move. There are signs that's shown to you before things tend to happen. So in a situation like that, where there's a trainer that's kind of like envious of you, what you got going on, trying to throw some smut on you low key, but you just don't know it yet. What are some signs that you can pick up on to tell that that person is really like that?
First off, just the nonverbal communication.
Hmm.
Like, that's the best way to read a person, from the feet all the way up. So just the way, how many times do we have a dominant stance? You know what I mean? Or sometimes, is he recessive? Is he always closing himself off when I'm talking to him? You know what I mean? You gotta see, okay, is he spreading his legs, spreading his stance wide, or he have his hands like this? Like, you know what I mean? Do he got some substance to himself, some stern to himself? But if I'm talking to him as a, like, when it comes to friendly competition, if he making himself recessive, that's a person you can't trust. But if he's dominant with you, he's mirroring your dominant stance. Okay, it's gonna be a friendly competition.
Right.
Like, he got some confidence to himself.
Right.
So, like, in the past, I seen a lot of guys recessive, and they prove me right every time. So it's like, they shy away from competition. They get frustrated. They want to fight.
That part.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
That part.
But you kill them with kindness. You be calm, cool, and collecting. It's like, I don't care what you do, I'm gonna get mine. But yeah, like, kudos to you. But you ain't about to stop my money, my flow. But yeah, though, you just gotta identify. I say nonverbal communication for sure.
Nonverbal. I agree. Nonverbal, especially tones in the way that they communicate.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people tell on themselves with nonverbal and tones. And also, like, if they're trying to brush you off type stuff.
Yeah, too. Yeah.
I want people to take what we saying, whether it's a new trainer that's growing up, that's about to go into the industry. If somebody going into being an athlete,
Yeah.
you can pick up on these same cues everywhere that we go.
No
When you
matter
go
if it's
into
players, coaches, anything, like, and it's crazy because it's a situation where I've been told before. It was an athlete, and he had a coaches meeting, but he lashed out in practice. Like, they was looking at him. He came in, they was looking at him to be a starter, but he lost his temp. He lost his temperature. You know what I mean? Like, he went in there in the office, knocked stuff off of the desk in the office, and I'm like, man, you gotta understand, like, yeah, you was gonna get some bad news, but if you would have read the cues that he was giving you, or or even so he got in trouble because he was fighting on the field. I think a player that was it was going back and forth over the position, and I'm like, man, you gotta be calm about it. You already can tell like just his body language. He was really hating on you.
Mm.
But now you in the coach's office. Now you going off. I'm like, man, you gotta be aware. You gotta have that self awareness and be an observer at any given moment, so you know how to conduct yourself, so you can stay on top. But people not. It's like they ignorant to the skills of nonverbal communication.
Mm.
So it's really applying yourself because that really can save your life. Now reading the cues of nonverbal communication, it really can save your life for real. So
I agree, man. We was just talking about on the pre-show, man. If y'all ain't seen that, go check that out. You know what I'm saying? We was talking about on the pre-show to kind of open up another tab, just real quick,
mm,
about Jonathan Majors.
mm,
And Jonathan Majors, I believe there were some things that he could have picked up on as a man.
yeah,
Me holding him responsible. I'm not saying that what he did was right or wrong. I don't care about that. It's just like if I see you do something and I know you my boy,
mm,
I'm like, hey, look, Charlie,
yeah, yeah,
that right there ain't it. Now, if you take heed to what I'm saying, that's your choice. If you don't, that's your choice.
mm-hmm,
But at least you know that I'm in your corner telling you, hey, look,
mm-hmm,
that ain't it. I
right,
see some red flags, you feel me?
right,
Also, he should be able to pick up on those nonverbal communications or situations
mm-hmm,
that led up to the situation that just happened.
right, right,
I think that what you said, a lot of us are ignorant to, because I'm going to put all of us in the same category as men.
okay,
I believe a lot of us are ignorant to those nonverbal communication, which is preventative skills, because a lot of us was raised without fathers.
mm,
And I think that your father, and there's three levels of fathers to my when I'm on distinguished gentlemen,
mm,
I talk about this, and there's three levels to fathers, and you can tell me how you feel about this.
okay,
You have the active father,
mm,
you have the inactive father. He's there, but he's not there,
mm,
and then you have the absent father.
mm,
I believe the inactive and absent father leaves you halfway developed. The
mm,
active father is the
mm.
father who
Sit
learns
up for this one.
how you learn
You are,
and
right.
then teaches you based off how you learn.
The actor father.
The active father.
Okay.
The inactive father is an instructor. They tell you what to do without explaining to you what to do. So the difference between a teacher is they teach how you learn.
Mm-hmm.
An instructor just tell you what to do,
Yeah, but they ain't practicing what they preach.
but they ain't practicing what they preach, nor do they care about how you learn.
Yeah.
And then you have the person who don't tell you nothing.
Mm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
I think a lot of us as men fall under that category,
yeah.
no matter the race, no matter the
Mm-hmm.
age, because we were halfway developed.
Mm. That makes a lot of sense because knowing that skill, I learned on my own. But my father was present. Presence is still dominant,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, he kind of lacked certain things. So, like he'll tell me what I need to do just off of his experience of him not, of him, you know, just experiencing a lot of things. But he didn't tell me the steps to be like, okay, look, you need to do this, this, and this, or this is how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
He like, look, just don't do that. Like, come to a woman, don't be laying up with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't have no babies. Why?
Yeah.
But my mother telling me like, have a family, be a family man. Why? But you telling me don't. So now I'm dealing with a lot of bouncing around. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, a lot of us don't know because we was lacked that. You know what I mean? We lack the instructor, the direction. But but at that point, it's really not too late. It's like you have to accept that what category you fall in.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have to meet yourself where you at, take yourself outside of yourself, meet yourself, and actually develop where you at. And so you can be at peace with it. But a lot of people that fall short, they don't. They're not at peace of where they at, or they just don't take accountability of where they at. So now they blaming everybody else. Like, nah, you really gotta be okay, accept where you at, and build yourself up. If you didn't have that active father in your life,
Mm-hmm.
but
And I say all that to say to make that full circle because
Mm-hmm.
what we talking about is trainers compete with trainers, and everything that we just said was why are you competing with somebody who actually do the
Yeah,
exact same thing you do,
Yeah.
got the same goal that you got,
Mm-hmm.
and y'all can grow just as fast,
Yeah.
but you can't because now you in a tight situation where you competing and not building,
Yeah. Stuck in your
competing
own
and
way.
not creating, but that comes and it stems from something.
The root.
You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to be able to play with that
That's
to
full
let people
circle.
know that it
Yeah.
everything comes full circle. You know what I'm saying? So
That was smooth. That
you
was
feel me?
smooth. Yeah,
You feel
yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
so we talked about that part side of training, bro. But now we gotta talk about the dark side of training, bro. Because again, the undefeated minds is a black side and a white side of
Duality.
chess duality. In training, bro, you're a male trainer.
Yeah.
Most male trainers get female clients.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
There's a stigma about male trainers. We some hoes. The reason why we have this stigma because we have the access to so many women.
Yeah.
And a lot of women have been programmed to believe that men don't have the discipline to be able to withstand themselves.
And we
You know
got to
what I'm
prove that every day.
saying? Every day.
Every day.
However, clients make it hard based off of what they wear
True.
and also how they come on to you. Has there ever been a time where you as a trainer had to fight that battle, whether it was clothing or a client coming on to you?
Yes. Honestly, yes. And how I dealt with that, well, the situation, like you said, she's at her vulnerableest moment.
Yeah.
So it's like, you coming off as genuine as possible because it's like, if you know yourself, you know that, or you have respect for yourself, you know that's wrong coming at a woman that she had a vulnerableest moment. You know what I mean? Like, you coming off genuine.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I really want to develop. I really want to heal you. We healers. At the end of the day, we healers.
That's true. That's very
yeah,
true.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, like I see what you're doing. We actually see it, but they feel like as men, it's all one category when it comes to that. Like just being indecent. but man, like they make it hard. They make it hard. They even the squats and all that. They way they walk. It could be so many. It's so much stuff.
Yeah.
But you gotta have the discipline though. You gotta have the discipline and actually keep the main thing the main thing. And if the chips fall where they lay, after she healed. After she healed. You know what I mean? Then you know what I mean, you can weigh your option if it's divine intervention, but
Yeah.
you can't come off like that.
Because it's some trainers that hit every
Yeah.
client that come across because it's easy.
It's terrible.
But like you said,
The
I didn't
vulnerability.
even think about it from that perspective of you saying is they're vulnerable, bro. Because that is a true statement. Like most of these people that are coming to you, even males, your male clients come to you like,
Vulnerable.
look, bro, I'm
Yeah.
trying to hit a goal. I'm tired of this. Either whether I'm too skinny or I'm too big, I need something.
Yeah.
I need help, bro. Help
Yeah.
me. But there's some guys that fall and be like, yeah, squat like this. Yeah, let me help you right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, arch right here. Cat cow right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
It be you gotta squeeze that part right there.
yeah, right there. Feel this? Feel this? Right there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
The industry is wild.
this is crazy. But I think that this is an unwritten thing or untalked about thing that goes on amongst the industry is the dark side of training. And you do have to have discipline across the board because of that. Even with female trainers, they have male clients that press them
For sure.
crazy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I only work out with you if you wear this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
hey, can you show me? Can you demonstrate this for me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Demonstrate
Yeah.
that. Oh yeah, I don't know how to do a fire hydrant. You
Mm,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Demonstrate that for me real
Yeah.
quick. Like,
It can be, yeah. It can go both ways. It
it
can
can
go
go
both.
both
Yeah.
ways.
Mm.
I just think that that discipline area of knowing not to mix your honey
Mm-hmm.
with your money
Mm.
is a factor.
That's a new one.
But
Yeah, personal with business, but that one right there, the honey with money, yeah,
don't mix your honey
with
with
the
your money.
money,
You feel what I'm saying?
yeah,
That right there
for sure,
will save you.
for sure.
Gentlemen, it will save you a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because not only let's just go down this path real quick. Let's say you do mix your honey and your money. You know what I'm saying? It get a little sticky. Not only do you have a client that you tapping, let's say you charging like $50 per session, right?
Messing up your money.
You charging $50 per session. This person is coming to you 3 times a week. That's $150 a week. You times that by 4. You know what I'm saying? That's $600, right? You tap this person who paying you $600 a month. Eventually, you dick them down good enough, they gonna want that for free.
Yeah, yeah. So you got
So
to choose wisely.
you just eliminated
Yeah.
$600 off your income
Mm.
for some viscosity, bro.
Mm. See.
Is it really
Facts.
worth you losing $600? Now, some people be worth it. You know what I'm
Worth it.
saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just don't think that it's worth it.
Mm.
So
You just gotta choose wisely.
you just gotta choose wisely. I
Gotta
did
choose.
that math for a reason because I really want you to understand it is a cause and effect behind what you
Yeah.
do.
They don't think about that.
I'm not telling you what to do, but as a disciplined person, never get your honey where you get your money. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But we talked about training, bro. We talked about, how we met and everything. And in the process of us talking about us meeting, bro, we also talked about us doing a podcast together. My question to you is, what made you get into podcasting? Like, before me and you collab, like I said, I saw you on social media,
Yeah.
and you was talking to other gentlemen like this,
Mm-hmm.
talking about development and manhood and whatnot. What made you get into that?
So, it was like back in, um, not the time, but it was my old high school coach,
Mm-hmm.
old football coach, and he already went to school for media production. So he was like, yeah, man, I see what you're doing. I want to film some of your workouts. Then I thought about, always seen like people like just inspired. You know what I mean, inspired by, and always studying like Pac, Tupac, and all them. I just really wanted to be heard. So any creative way that for me to be heard,
Fact.
I was like, I can do that too. So I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and start a pod. Let me go ahead and brand, because I'm always coming up with certain names and brands and all that. I'm like, yeah, I can really develop this. So develop myself into that. So it was like, I hit him up. He was like, yeah, I got you. I got the setup. I got the 4K cameras. I'm like, and you got all this stuff, and you ain't really putting nobody on. He was like, I was just waiting on somebody like you to come on and really. So I'm like, wow, it was already divine. It was like, yeah, let me go ahead and tap in and play with it and see what I can learn from it, because I love learning new skills.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, man, I started doing it, basically talking with them myself first. It was like a one-on-one thing, like getting comfortable with the camera. But then I was like, okay, another skill, I know how to bring people together. So I was like,
Charlie know how to bring people
yeah,
together.
for sure, for
You know what
sure.
I'm saying?
Like, so I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, I know a lot of Anna. I was at college at the time, so I was like, yeah, I know a lot. I got respect from a lot of women. I know some cool fellas. Like, man, let's bring this. We gonna make it like a vibe, like a lounge. Like, we gonna have some drinks. We
Yeah.
gonna have some laughter.
Yeah.
Everybody, get fly every now and then. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, that's a vibe. So, and then I was like, why not? So we did the first episode. I was like, yeah. So now let's bring it all together. But but yeah, man, that was really like the root of it. It was like just being heard, being creative because, and just looking at it like all of the greats like Nipsey, Tupac, Malcolm X, all of them, they was always being heard, some form or shape of being in front of the media because those those moments are going to be here long gone before we, you know what I mean,
That's
when
true.
we here. So it's like we putting ourselves in position so our kids, they be like, wow, my pops, my grandpops was, this is what he was about. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I'm like, yeah.
type shit. Yeah,
Hmm.
I feel it, bro. It's just kind of the same way for me. Like I documented my fitness journey at first,
Hmm.
and how it happened was I was playing running back, but the coach was I
Hmm.
moved up north.
Yeah.
So up north, bro, they don't really big backs is not like a thing.
Hmm.
It's always slim to
Yeah, yeah.
petite type backs. Whereas in down south, it's like
Yeah, yeah, they, yeah.
you solid. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
So me moving up north, they was like, yeah, you kind of big, bro. You kind of need to lose some
Hmm.
weight. You feel me? I'm
Yeah.
like,
Like,
hey,
them the
what?
right
Hey,
size.
you're tripping. I'm the
Yeah,
right size, bro.
yeah,
Alabama breed backs like me. What are you
yeah,
talking about?
yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just look at this situation like a challenge. So I started documenting
Mm,
the fitness journey.
yeah.
And in that process of me getting in front of a camera, bro, I was so nervous. I was like,
Mm,
yeah, this when I'm working out good
yeah,
this.
yeah. Just gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Then we all went through it. Yeah.
So it rolled over to the point where I got good in front of the camera. You know me, bro. Like even on my stories now,
Yeah,
I drop gems. I've always been that type of guy who just
for sure.
looked at the world differently.
Hmm.
So I was like, all right, bet. I'm gonna get in front of this camera and start talking about ish. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And lo and behold, we got into the podcast era where you didn't have to be on the radio; you could do it yourself.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah.
like, bro, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
got videos of me like on Facebook, me talking shit just
Yeah.
in my car,
Hmm.
but I never really like pushed it through.
Yeah.
And when a pod came, I was like, yeah.
Hmm.
I
That's it.
started off with Gentleman Rules 101, kind of like on some Kevin Samuels type stuff,
Yeah.
and then it converted over to the podcast Undefeated Minds.
Hmm.
Well, I did a Reverence podcast first with a few of my guys, and
Yeah.
then Undefeated Minds podcast, and then Distinguished Gentleman featured on Yours Soulless,
Hmm.
and when I now featured on Black Fly on the Wall,
Hmm.
and now I'm featuring people
Yeah.
on Undefeated
The
Minds
journey.
and
The journey
Distinguished Gentlemen. You know
continues.
what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's been a journey, and
Hmm.
and I agree with you saying like document your journey
Yeah, yeah.
because your children's children can watch and be like, yeah, that was my grandfather.
Hmm.
My grandfather was like that. You
Yeah,
feel me?
for sure.
Like, you can look at them old ass pictures and be like,
Yeah.
how was he like?
Yeah. Oh my
And
god. Yeah.
you
Every
don't know,
time.
but if you
Right.
look at a video, you can be like, nah,
He was that.
he was that.
Yeah,
Look at the
yeah,
body
yeah.
language. You can
Yeah,
tell. Look at
yeah,
he
yeah.
was just like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, podcasting is just another way of documenting, and
Yeah.
I really like that you do the same thing. That's what,
Hmm.
again, a big reason why I was like, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
me and him most definitely can collab.
I really so I actually skipped over when I first started. I first started, I was playing ball. I was playing college ball, and I was going through the politics.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I just need to vent. I was
Mm.
journaling. I was journaling,
Okay.
and then I was actually had like two of my iPhones. So I was on an audio pod before that, like the video pod where I met my coach. But I was doing the audio on my phone. Like I was, all right, today, it was LBC daily vent session.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let me go. I'm just venting today, y'all. Like but just hearing my voice, and people was like, I was getting feedback. I even made like a motivational album, Legacy Beyond Control on Google. Like they was like, your voice is very, it's just soothing. Like you
That
need to.
boy stuck in the 90s. For real, for real.
You
Keep
got
sweat.
the got the old style, you know what I mean? But nah, man, I was really, and then then I started getting comfortable with my voice.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I was like, okay, let me keep doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But it also really was like therapy to me, like it just being heard, just actually getting it out and actually releasing, because I was holding a lot in of working for something and not getting it, not getting what you work for. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, man, let me go ahead and basically document the journey.
Mm-hmm.
So just starting out with audio, and then I transitioned over to the video part. So, but yeah, that was a journey though. It started just trying to release and trying to be heard. But yeah,
Yeah, the stoic principles is a huge principle of like journaling,
mm,
and they always say like at the beginning of your day, before you do anything, at least 10 minutes, find yourself in the corner
mm,
and just chill. Allow yourself to control your thoughts
mm-hmm,
to the point where you can kind of like know what you're thinking about and your thoughts are not just roaming.
mm,
You know, a lot of people say that's prayer. Some people say that's a form of meditation.
meditation. Mm-hmm.
However, it is also just a way of being aware of self. And in the Stoic philosophies, it is they say document that.
Mm,
Like, um, I can't recall his name, but they say his name all the time. Anytime I read up on philosophy or
mm,
Stoicism, um, his name start with E, but I can't remember the name. But
mm,
basically, what you're saying is just another form of documentation and is very powerful.
yeah.
If you're not the type of person who likes to write, do
Mm,
audio. If you're not the type of person who likes to do audio, do video.
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? There are so many different
Yeah.
areas to be able to document your life that is
Mm-hmm.
super duper important because you can always go back and
Yeah.
see how far you
Yeah.
came.
That
Like,
growth. That growth moment. That's just like a form of like rewarding yourself too.
for sure.
Like, yeah.
A
So
delayed
yeah,
gratification. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and sometimes you be in it. Like I like to use the analogy like I'm a very straightforward, vulgar guy. So I just want y'all to understand this. If you know me, you do know this. But I use the analogy of like taking the shit. When you in the bathroom taking the shit, you really don't smell your shit. You know what I'm saying? Unless you either step out and come
Mm,
back in and you be like, God damn. Or somebody else step in and be like, Whew.
yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
It's how do you know or how can you gauge where you at if you in it? How do
Mm,
you know, you get what I'm saying, the results to the fruits of your labor if you're always in the labor?
and
You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so it's kind of like documenting that. You can be like,
Mm,
at a stressful moment, go back and go check out them videos. Go back and
yeah.
go listen to them audios.
Yeah.
Go back and go
Mm-hmm.
look into them Insta stories indirectly because that's what
That's what they're
Instagram
doing.
do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Instagram is just another form of documenting
Man,
your
yeah,
life.
yeah. Putting it on front and center against the world, to the world. It's like, but people misusing it.
Correct.
People misusing it. They're not really, because now you have a platform where you can be like, okay, this is what I'm about. Let me use this to spark the brains of the people. You know what I mean? Let me use this to have a following, to be, to prophesize whatever that you're trying to do
Mm-hmm.
positively in the world. What I encourage, positivity. But it's just a platform where you can actually grow and lead others with your uniqueness, being unique, being in
Mm-hmm.
your own right, doing
Mm-hmm.
whatever feels good to your soul. So yeah, it's a lot of people misuse it. A lot of people
Yeah,
misuse it.
bro.
Yeah.
So speaking of social media, bro, and you said a key point, and when we was talking about podcasting and your challenges, you said that you like developing skills,
Mm, mm-hmm.
and with social media, you can
Mm,
be able to go look into developing the skill like YouTube University. Go find some type it up. TikTok now,
yeah.
find some type it up.
Mm-hmm.
We going into 2024.
Mm,
What is a skill that you desire to
mm,
acquire in 2024?
mm. A skill of saying no.
Mm.
A skill of saying no. Uh, yeah, man, just putting my goals first.
Mm.
Yeah, putting my goals first. That's what I mean by saying no. What I mean by saying no, putting my goals first and actually keeping the main thing, and then actually having letting people make their own decisions and not try to force them to go along the path. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Not trying to teach and recruit, and because if they solid, if they true to themselves, they be like, okay, he aligned, just like how we connected. He aligned with what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So
facts.
you basically finding your soul tribe along that, and just standing on putting yourself first. Putting yourself first, no matter what relationship it may be. Just putting yourself first, and then by you doing for yourself, it'll benefit somebody else because you live in a righteous way in your own right.
Mm,
Yeah,
facts. I like that. I
yeah.
like that. I just posted a post the other day and said, "I'll work on me for you
Mm,
if you work on you for me."
that's smooth.
Um,
Great way to sum it up.
it's a real thing because most of us are being propagated to that you supposed to work, you supposed to give me something without me
Yeah,
giving you something.
it's wild.
And I'm huge on the concept value for value. You feel me?
Yeah. Oh,
It's like
yeah.
that's the only way we gonna really grow for real, for real.
It has to be a fair transaction.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think that we can talk about it on podcasts, but if we not walking that walk and talking that talk, you know what I'm saying?
Pointless. Yeah.
It's pointless. And it's the reason why I brought you back here because behind closed doors, it's always been value for value,
Yeah.
but now it's being on camera
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that you can see
Yeah.
value for value. It was started off here,
Mm-hmm.
then we did this together, then we
Yeah.
did that together,
Yeah.
and we continue to grow together.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not looking at it from the competitive
Yeah.
perspective.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. For
always
sure.
like,
Yeah.
bruh, like I see you grinding.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm grinding. I want to invite you to this
Yeah.
grind.
Yeah.
You want to invite me to that
It's
grind?
only right. It's only right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, man. So I encourage people use social media
Mm-hmm.
to learn to develop a skill.
Yeah.
Use social media to document your life. 2024, use social media. Don't let social media
Yeah.
use you.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't be scared to find your people along your path either. Like, and cling to the people that's really pouring into you. Don't cling to the people that's really draining your energy. Energy vampires. Like, if you're around energy vampires, make sure you be in a group so you can preserve your energy. Like, for sure.
yeah,
For sure.
bro. I think, but here, let me give you a little pushback. Not
Okay.
really, but it's adding value to
Yeah.
what you just said, just in a different scenario. I think we program to be that way.
Mm.
Like, just pay attention to athletes, bro. The story of most athletes is didn't nobody really believe in me.
Mm.
The story of rappers is my teacher said I would never amount to nothing.
Yeah.
The story of like family, the black sheep. I was the black sheep in my family because didn't
Mm.
nobody want to believe that I can do it. I was the first to
Mm.
be able to do this, and the third. Like, didn't nobody really support me like that for real,
Mm.
bro? Low key,
That's
that's
really
bullshit.
yeah, that's really the motivator though. At the
It's
same time.
it's the motivator, but I think it's bullshit.
Mm.
Like I think anger
Mm.
can feel the fire. I don't think it should be the fire.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
you should use anger to your advantage. When you frustrated, girl broke your heart, you know what I'm saying? Take your ass to the gym. Pay attention to how hard your ass work.
Constructively.
Pay attention to how hard your ass will get on that field and you will run doing, you got 10 a hundreds. You
Mm-hmm.
damn near might do 20 a hundred.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause old girl done broke your heart. But
Mm.
what that did was push you a step further
Mm.
beyond
Yeah.
what you can do. If you could tap into that type energy
Mm.
of anger, of frustration, you can also tap into the polar opposite of that too.
Yeah.
And I think that we're so programmed to only focus on one side
Mm.
that we don't pay attention to the other side. For every one person, I guarantee you, in every athlete story, hear me when I say this. Every athlete story, for every one person that said you weren't gonna make it, I guarantee you there were 100 people saying that you were.
Mm. Yeah.
I guarantee it,
But
bro.
like you said, they only tap into one side of the.
They only tap into
Yeah.
one side. So then the end result behind that though, when they do make it, they shit on the people
That
that
was
said
there.
that they could
Mm-hmm.
make it. Or when they don't make it, they take it out on the people who said that they can make it.
That's some deep. That's some deep stuff, and that happens on a daily. Prime example, you look at them the stories, them draft stories.
For sure.
Yeah, them draft stories. You can actually see it without them even saying a word. You can tell they mindset like, yeah, I'm gonna go back. Or the people that didn't get drafted, they just going at everybody that be like they ain't believing me. They ain't. It's crazy.
Facts.
It's crazy. Like,
Facts.
but when they make it, they like, okay, they in a whole different mood, and it's like they feed off of that. They feed off of that, and they use it to their advantage. But you're not really aware of what's going on, so
Mm-hmm.
you just you just basically just shitting on everybody else for real.
Everybody. So then by the time you get to the point where now you're done,
Mm,
whether that's a positive result or a negative result, you have nobody in your
yeah,
corner.
yeah.
You had some people in your corner,
Mm-hmm.
but now you have nobody in your corner. And as we get older, we tend to lose people
Mm,
because our paths go completely different.
yeah.
But not only do we lose people, we push people away
Mm,
because we're not appreciative of the value that they give us because that's not what we focus on.
yeah.
And you know me, man, I've been talking about soft skills on Distinguished Gentlemen. We talk about soft skills because that's what makes a gentleman.
Mm,
And a soft skill that I believe a lot of people don't pay attention to is being grateful, practicing gratitude,
yeah. Gratitude. Yep.
um,
Grace, gratitude.
being
Yeah.
present with
Mm,
whom you're with. You know what I'm saying?
for
Like,
sure.
how can you appreciate something if you're not really there?
Mm,
How can you appreciate something if you don't pay attention to the value that it brings you?
mm,
Because anything that's not maintained will be destroyed.
yeah. Yeah.
You
It'll be taken away. They say you just like a skill. Like you're not activating that skill. The Most High will take it away from you. Like that's a scientific fact for
mm-hmm,
real. That ain't even spiritual. Like it's just like yeah, you're not exercising that. It's gonna be taken away from you.
mm-hmm.
So better keep it as a balance. But
So how do you, since we talking about that, because we identifying these things, and again, you know me, I don't like to be on podcasts promoting like we know it all.
mm,
When was a time that you was aware of you practicing gratitude
mm, I
and
say
being present?
yeah.
Identify both.
It was a time where it was this friend. It was this friend. Okay, I had a just got like a new spot. Um, I got a new spot, and I helped a friend out, and the friend came through. You know what I mean? Like made it comfortable, whatever, like that. And that friend been going from place to place, and I was just saying like, and I'm looking from the outside in, like that person kind of damaged a little bit, but whole time that friend was like free spirit, like they was comfortable with self, knowing that being stagnant can set them back. And I was looking like some like that person don't know how to sit still. And really, I'm looking. It's like that friend that took me outside of myself and actually made me realize like, yeah, be present, but also know that every phase of your life has a purpose. But if you don't stay present in that, you won't even know. You will live that day to day cycle
Mm,
over and over.
okay.
So actually learning that lesson, then the roles will switch.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, the roles
That's
will
true.
switch. I was being tested. So I was being judgmental, and then now I'm going through the situation where I'm not even stable.
Mm,
So how do I operate in a controversy, you know what I mean, environment, or I'm just not comfortable anymore. So I had to be present. She was teaching me, that friend
mm-hmm.
was teaching me to be present. It was dang, I really need to ground myself. I really needed to go ahead and actually to the point where man, it was I had to take my shoes off and ground myself. You know what I mean? Bare feet, going out in the atmosphere. I need to take my runs, my daily runs in
Mm-hmm.
nature. Like, I need to start journaling, do my 369. Like, I need to do all these things that's feeding my soul, but actually telling myself, thank you. I'm thankful for this. I'm grateful for this. You know what I mean? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
really had to do that and really got out peacefully. People be like, why you so chill? You really so mellow. Like,
Fact.
nah, like the experiences. And then just actually not judging anybody on what their circumstances may be. It's like, man, I really had to take in that and really learn that from that person because I always been I'm the youngest out of seven. So I always learn from other people. And that's what really I learned from other people's mistakes. So it's like, man, okay, that person coming in my life, it gotta be a purpose. So I'm taking it in. I might be stuck in my own way, but I'm taking it in. But so seeing how my friend operated, it was like, dang, okay, this is how I got out of there. Let me try it. Let me do it in my own way, but let me try it.
Right.
Man, did it. That was the solution. And I still take on those habits every day now. So it's like I go running. I still journal. You know what I mean? Still be grounding myself when the weather right. You know what I mean? So doing the holistic things for sure.
For sure, man. Shout out to the Shaka like babies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We love you over
For sure.
here. All right. So we talked about grounding. We also talked about how people influence you in your life and people pulled you outside of yourself um, for you to be able to grow. The reason why I bring this up is because within our culture,
Mm-hmm.
we typically don't help each other out. We
Mm-hmm.
was talking about at the beginning of how trainers are in competition with trainers.
Right.
We talked about again how me and you
Mm-hmm.
collabed and did value for value. What do you think that's hurting us? I would say in our culture
Mm-hmm.
first. I want you to answer that one first, but then I want you to follow up with what is hurting men
Mm-hmm.
today. That ain't got nothing to do. The men part ain't got nothing to do with race.
Mm-hmm.
The, our culture is us. So I want you to answer those if you can.
I'll say examples.
Okay.
We don't have a lot of examples. People make an example of coming together and putting other people on, or
Mm.
or actually, yeah, bringing people together, actually coming up with solution and actually embracing their highs and lows too. So everybody coming off as like they perfect all the time, where we have a problem as a culture um, of division. We have a problem with like, okay, I want to be the face of everything. Like no, like we need to come together if it's a common denominator in creativity, of course, come together. Or matter of fact, it don't even gotta be the same creative niche. It's like everybody can be a resource to each other. But I'll say we need more examples of people coming together and actually using their skills and resources, putting it together and actually front and center of every individual coming together and actually showing people that we can work together and actually coming up with a solution to help society. I'll say that.
Okay.
But
Do you think what is our issue as men across the board in today's time period?
uh, men lack leadership now. I'll say it, they lack leadership. It goes off to examples again. Like they don't. It's like a lot of men not even they're not developing themselves, or they too prideful to ask another man that already knows how to develop himself in certain situations, so they can have their own perspective
Mm-hmm.
of, or even just taking a piece of information and be like, let me take that and actually develop myself, get my own interpretation and develop myself in a way. You know what I mean? People, it's just too prideful as men. Just actually being humble to information being and actually investing their time too, investing their time behind closed doors, having more structure when it comes to discipline, to be able to lead others by discipline and vision. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You say discipline. I'm gonna play. You know me.
Mm.
I believe that discipline is so propagated in a negative way
Mm.
because discipline looks different for everybody.
True.
What was discipline to you might not be discipline to me.
Mm.
But if you promote discipline for you, like it's for the world, I think that's misleading.
Mm. Yeah.
I think that I, I think that we don't teach formula no more. Meaning like
For all.
for all.
Mm.
It's you can apply this any and everywhere, no matter where you go. Wherever you apply it to is subjective, but the formula is objective. You
Mm.
know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I think that is going back into, like I say, people are misleading people based off their own personal
Mm.
experience.
Okay.
So I think that's one of the biggest things that's hurting men today. We don't
Mm.
appreciate the dominance of another man in his own subject.
Yeah.
Just because he might not look dominant to me, don't mean he's dominant. He's not dominant in his field.
Mm.
I have to respect him being dominant in his field. Like for a man who works on computers, it's not the fact that he's not physically dominant. He might just be mentally dominant.
Mm.
But if I don't respect his mental and he don't respect my physical, then we'll never get along.
Yeah.
I think that the common denominator is that we don't agree.
Mm.
Like we can't come to terms to agree.
That comes with pride. I mean, same
For
thing.
sure, for
Pride.
sure.
Pride.
Um, and I think the system is designed that way for us to disagree.
Yeah. That's. I mean, that's how they make a living. Division.
For
Like.
sure.
Yeah. That's how they make division. I feel like but even you go to these pastors and these ministers, like,
Oh yeah, them pimps.
yeah, for sure. For sure they pimps. Yeah, they pimps. That's like a club for real. They
Facts.
it's a pimp.
Facts. Churches is clubs.
You feel me? Yeah.
You just wholly shaking that ass.
Yeah. That's exactly like, but nah, hey, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. But at the same time,
Yeah.
you go in there as a preacher and a minister, or even as an activist, you know what I mean, or a political leader. Like, you not you desire to get all, but you're gonna get probably like 65% to for that message. I feel like, yeah, you can have a formula, it works, but most of the time it's like people still gonna still gonna have their own way of doing whatever they want to do. So it's like I feel like we can have a formula, but we still gotta teach our experience, and whoever catch the bait,
Mm-hmm.
they catch it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, long as I put my 2 cents in the world, it's like, okay, maybe I sparked
Yeah.
at least one a day. Like,
Yeah.
that's how I look at it. Like, I'm not trying to change the world because I'll be drained, but I want to spark some type of some part of the world for real. But I only
Right.
can do that, get out here and experience as much as possible.
Yeah. The reason why I say uh we have to learn how to teach in formulas, I guess, or more so principles.
Hmm.
Um, and I want you to hold on to what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's because a father who has multiple children, not all of those children learn the same, but
Yeah.
they come from one household.
Right. Right.
An active father has to learn how his children learns,
So he can. Yeah.
and I think that's the part where you're saying like we lack leaders.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
leaders don't know how to teach anymore based off of how the student learns.
That's crazy.
Because they're still focusing to, okay, I'm gonna just drop it and hopefully you catch it. But that's not
No.
the teacher has to become a student again. And this is the part where I say like the
the
phases of
duality.
life. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're going through a phase of life. eventually you will have to become a student again.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the cycle of life, we start off as babies, we go through life, we
And
get to
we
peak,
become, yep,
and then we go back
yeah,
to that childlike
pampers and
mindset.
yep.
You know what I'm saying? So if you can master that within the process, you can always teach multiple people who
Mm-hmm.
learn completely different.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I think that we lack teachers.
Mm.
I think that they've propagated us to destroy our elders, destroy our
Mm.
teachers, and I think that's what's wrong with our
Yeah.
culture. They have the experience that we do not, but they also have the capabilities of teaching us the lessons that we need to learn, so we don't have to go through
Mm-hmm.
the same
Yeah.
thing. But again, I just think that that's man's biggest downfall,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Yeah.
think pride is our culture biggest downfall. I just heard the saying, and I might be butchering or I might get one of them wrong, but they say the way to control people is through music,
Yeah.
beauty and sex,
Mm.
and food.
Mm.
If
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
they made a
control
movie. They
these,
made a movie like that.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one, this is a bonus one, is folk tales.
Mm. Mm. And that's what they do on a daily.
Mm-hmm. If we can all
Mm.
agree to a folk tale, we can all come together on one accord.
Mm.
But since we don't agree on folk tales,
Mm.
like in our culture, we can't come on one accord. There's
Mm.
Christians, there's Muslims,
Yeah.
there's
The division.
atheists, there's a whole
Mm-hmm.
bunch of Buddhists, there's a whole bunch of we're trying to argue who's right or who's wrong,
Yeah.
even and that's a construct
Mm.
to the point where we can't agree.
Yeah.
But we all human though,
That's the, yeah, that's the kicker right there.
so it's kind of like
Mm.
it's low key like you got to do reverse psychology.
You do. But they do it. They do it
They
on
do it to
us.
us all the
Yeah. Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and I just think that like it's gonna take a stance for you to start with children first.
Mm-hmm.
I think that me and you have an open
Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah.
There are more like us who have an open mindset
Mm-hmm.
who wants humans to grow. You want your own culture to grow. It's just inevitable for you to be prideful of what you are and where you come from. I
Yeah.
don't take that away from no other race or culture. You
Mm-hmm.
should be prideful about who you are, not too prideful to the point where it blind you, but you should be proud of who
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just think that we got to get to the point where it's like if 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 my generation, your generation, the older generation is too blind, we got to go all the way
You gotta
down.
go back. Yeah.
We got to go back.
Yeah.
And I think that's our issue. We don't want to go back.
Mm. But it's the they don't want to look in the mirror. Yeah. They be like, I faced that. I did that. Now I'm good. It's the selfish. They being selfish. But that's what I'm saying. Like going back down, pulling them back up, standing on, let them stand on our shoulders. Is like the skills that we learn. We have to go back, and it's like the skills, the leadership skills. Like the best way to lead somebody is give them a direction. You give them a direction, let them create their own process so they can find creativity within that.
I agree.
So like that's it. A lot of people mess up where they try to tell you exactly how to do it. That's just like in a job. You're gonna hate that job because a manager telling you like you need to do it this way, you need to do it that way. No, you'll get the best out of a person if you let them create it in their own creative way and let them they might even exceed the expectation
Facts.
because
Facts.
they learning how you're learning at that point. And kids are really the youth, not kids, the youth, the young adults is like, man, they will maximize that.
Yeah. I put it into a training analogy so we both can relate to. There are multiple variations of hitting the chest. There are multiple
Yeah.
variations of benching. Each of those variations might for said client might be different. Like my client might be good at benching while your client might be good at incline benching. So if they not good at benching, Then we can do dumbbell bench, or we can do machine bench. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's so many different variations that will hit the same exact muscles.
You still gonna get the same results. It's just like an equation. Everybody trying to get to 10. You got 1 and 9, 1 and 10. You know what I mean?
2 and 8. You know what I'm saying? 5 and 5.
Hey, it's true. We still gonna get there. It might be, but we still gonna get there. At the end of the day, that's just like the learning styles of the youth.
Exactly.
We need to go ahead and cater to all of they learning styles, and now we get all of the people. Now we have something to work, a foundation, the root of it, to work upon and be like, we not counting none of them out, nobody out.
Yeah.
We gonna attack every one of them, so no youth be left behind.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's not about if you smart, it's about how you smart. And all of us are smart or
For sure.
or intelligent in our own way.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, unique.
Yeah.
I like the word unique over independent.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another African word called Ubuntu, where it stands for like being together. We riding this thing out together, Ubuntu.
Ubuntu.
And I always say be unique within the unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have your own identity, but you're still a unit.
Yeah.
Every snowflake has its own crystallization, but when they come together, you can make a snowball. You feel me? You can make a snowman. You can make a snow castle.
Yeah.
All of that's being said, like, still be unique.
Yeah.
Do your thing. The way you wear your jackets might be different from how I wear my jacket.
Yeah.
However,
We still
vibe out.
yeah, for sure.
and both jackets keep us warm. You know? So at the end of the day, man, I really wanted to come holler at you, man. I wanted you to be one of the first
I really
that I
appreciate
wanted to
it.
interview because you put me onto yours. Now it's only right for me to put you onto mine.
Yeah.
For us to be a we.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that being said, man, boy, Charlie, I appreciate you, bro.
Love is love.
I appreciate you, man. We the ups, the downs,
Yeah.
the ins and the outs.
For
You
sure.
know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is. Together we stand, divided we fall. Got all that propaganda stuff, man. Get this work together. We gonna see y'all in the next episode. We gonna holler at y'all.
For sure. That was lit. That was lit.
Yes, sir. I like it.
I already knew the synergy.
Do you know what it takes to be a boss? I don't think you really know what it costs. You want the money and the fame just to floss. And if they ever catch you slipping, that's your loss. Cross state lines with it till it flew back. Chest move, not checkers, thought you knew that. You ain't on your stripes, you ain't sacrifice. Wanna gamble with your life, hurt, take the dice.